just don't know that. I think I'd want my best hand right now because you're going up against the Hendrick cars that are mighty, mighty strong. Don't handicap yourself with those 2 tires.
I know one thing. I normally do it at the beginning of the races, but you better reach up there and pull those belts tight, really tight now. 19 to go.
Business is getting ready to pick up.
18 to go as they cross the line. And Blaney trying to establish a little distance out here. Usually that's a bad thing if you get a gap on the field, because they'll run you down in a hurry.
Especially up on that outside, the 88 and the 24 and the 48, they're working good high. Got good momentum off of 2, and here they come.
Got those 3 Hendrick cars on the outside, and then you got the other Hendrick car, Casey Mears, in the 5 car, who's been right there for a number of laps. I think this will be a breakout year for Casey Mears in that 5.
Right now, old Junebug's sitting there hands singing, "Follow me, I'm the Pied Piper."
And they will for a little bit.
Come on, boys.
Matt?
Mike Dale Jr. told Tony Jr. the preferred lane near the end is going to be up high just because of the tire wear. He also said, count me down, 15 laps, 10 laps, so that way I can start to make my moves, plan out my run to the finish.
Almost 4 wide in the back of the pack there. You see Kenny Schrader's 49, losing a spot to Carl Edwards, who's trying to get back to the front in the Office Depot 99. Oh, trouble. Clint Boyer got a nudge and hung on toward the back of the field.
Let me tell you, that big old wing, you got to be pretty sideways to lose one of these things.
He drove right out of it.
Now the 07 almost went around.
I'm not sure when they put that on there they knew what it was going to do ultimately, but that thing was gone. You see it right here.
Denny Hamlin in the 11 got such a run off turn 2, and it's almost like Clint had to roll out of the throttle just a little bit. What a run he got on him.
Boy, and they were 4 wide for an instant right there.
But I tell you, we just heard Kevin Harvick talk about it, how much these cars will just get a suck behind that other car and just lunge toward it.
Well, they've got so much more horsepower now, and this is what the drivers have been asking for. Give us some acceleration. Don't make me run over that guy in front of me. Give me something I can work with.
Well, these new cars, this car of today, pokes a bigger hole in the wind. It's 4 inches wider, 2.5 inches taller, so it's going to create a bigger draft behind it.
And that's why they have a little more power. NASCAR gave them a little bigger restrictor plate under the carburetor.
But, like the old car, you had to hold it wide open. If you ever lifted it, it took too long to get going again. This car, you can play with the throttle and maintain your speed.
Mark Martin in car number 8. The Army car has joined the Hendrick trio of Earnhardt Jr., Johnson, and Gordon on the outside. Downstairs, it's Tony Stewart and Dave Blaney.
And we see a few cars that look like when they're on fresh tires, they're able to hang with the front guys. But as it goes along, some of those guys fall back.
How about that brick Jimmy Johnson said he has? I guess they polished on it.
I believe they have, because there he is, right behind Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jimmy Johnson, the 48 car.
Krista, pretty good brick.
Very good brick. You took the words right out of my mouth, Mike. I said, somehow this brick has become chiseled into a bit of a missile. Remember, this is a short track car, too. This backup was the Richmond car from last year of Jimmy Johnson. It was scheduled to go to Nashville to test on Monday and Tuesday. Well, instead of country music, it's won a trip to sunshiny Florida looking for a Bud Shootout win. Jimmy Johnson, a former winner in this event.
Well, I know what a guy told me one time. He said, boy, that car don't have no idea where it is.
I'll tell you who's happiest about this turn of events is Brett Bodine, the former competitor in the Cup Series, who is now NASCAR's Director of Cost Containment. One of the hopes for the COT platform is that you could take a car and run it anywhere. Jimmy Johnson proving that here tonight.
Well, I think here probably more than any place else, well, more than Talladega for sure, a Hamlin car, a good car with downforce is what you want to race with. You'd like to have 2 cars here, one to qualify, one to race.
13 laps to go, and still the first 18 cars are all tied together.
And we saw Jimmy Johnson in that 48 car giving his teammate Dale Earnhardt Jr. a little bump trap, front bumper to rear bumper, then he backed off when they got to the corner.
But you saw them exit 2, and nobody is running as high on the track as Junior is.
And we saw that at Talladega. When he gets that thing working and he gets it right up next to the wall, he can make time around the racetrack.
And I believe Stewart has a strong race car. He just can't get a line behind him like he needs to work that bottom.
Let me know when Jeff gets clear if we can get to the bottom, but we might not want to. 10-4, he's still 555 on the 20th.
Teamwork, man. He's talking about, that's Dale Jr. talking about Jeff Gordon. I think he's a little concerned that he's leaving that bottom open for Stewart and Blaney to get up there and mess him up. So he wants to be able to go to the bottom if he has to.
There's Matt on the leader.
DW, that's exactly what Dale Earnhardt Jr. just said on the radio. He said, let me know when Jeff Gordon is clear of Stewart. So in case we want to go to the bottom, we might not want to do it, but in case we want to, we can.
Well, Kevin Harvick, it looks like everybody